Hello gamers, my name is Colin from One More Games, and today I want to talk to you about The Game by IDW Games and Pandasaurus. The game was developed by Stefan Bendorf. It's a micro game. It's just 102 cards in a box. Plays 1 to 5 players in about 20 minutes. Ages 8 and up. I think that's pretty accurate. And we'll do a quick run through and then I'll tell you what I think. Okay, so this is how the game works. The game starts with 4 cards showing 2 ascending piles and 2 descending piles. This is a cooperative game, so players are working together to get cards numbered from 2 to 99 out in each of these piles. Players must lay at least 2 cards at a time. They can lay more, but the minimum is 2, until the deck is exhausted. At that time, players continue playing with a minimum of 1 card played each turn. In a solo play, the player takes 8 cards, 2 players take 7 cards each, and in 3, 4, or 5 players, players have a hand of 6. So let me just show you how this works in a solo play. Okay, so like I said, this is a solo variant, so I'm going to deal myself a hand of 8 cards, as I've already done. And I see that I have a 96. I'm going to place that in one of the descending piles. That's not too much of a jump. I feel pretty safe doing that. And a 4 is also a good card to start one of the ascending piles. Now remember, all cards laid on top of that 4 must be greater than 4, and everything laid on that 96 must be less than 96. In a multiplayer game, turns would go around the table with each player playing a minimum of 2 cards and building the piles. The goal, cooperatively, to get all the cards out. I've only seen this done once. The rule book tells us that anything less than 10 cards remaining at the end is a good score. So I'm going to fill my hand back up now. Like I said, I played 2, so I will draw 2, a 90, and a 10. I feel fairly safe placing the 10 on top of the 4, and the 90 on top of the 96, and I could play that 88, but I think I'm going to stop there. We'll see what comes next. Fill my hand, 28. It's a bit of a jump. My next move could be tough. A 98. Okay, here. There is one way you're allowed to break the rules. I'm going to play my 88 on top of the 90. And like I said, you must lay cards lower than 88 unless you're fortunate enough or strategic enough keep cards in your hand that are 10 above or 10 below a card you've already played. So on this 88, I'm allowed to play a 98 and bring that stack very close to 100 again, helping out myself or the other players in a multiplayer game. Draw 2 more cards, a 49 and a 43. Now it looks like I've got some tougher decisions to make. My next move would probably be to play the 23 on top of the 10 and maybe the 28 and see what happens from there. I hope that gives you an idea of how the game is played. So, what did I think about it? First of all, I didn't mention this earlier because I wanted to talk about it at the end. This game, as you can see, was nominated for the 2015 Spiel. And when I heard that a micro game with 102 sequential cards was nominated for the Spiel, I thought, how could this be? What's so good about the game? And then I played it. I played it solo. Love it. Played it with my wife. We love it. Played it with groups of 3 and 4. Every time it's one more game. Let's play this again. There's a lot of game packed into this little box. I can definitely see why it was nominated, and I'm not sure that it shouldn't have won. I've got at least 40 games under my belt, and I still find myself sitting down and playing a solo game before bed or having a game with my wife in the evenings. There's no end to it. Sometimes we finish with 25 points. Recently I finished it solo, 0, all cards out, which I hear is very rare, but it just keeps me wanting more. Great game. Check it out. One thing I did... I guess I got to say a negative. The only negative I can really say about this, I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you, is that after about 55 or 60 plays, some of the cards are starting to wear. So the card quality is not really the best. A lot of people sleeve their games. I don't. I find sleeves cumbersome, hard to shuffle, and there will be a lot of shuffling at the end of this game. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I think you should check it out. It's really worth $16.99 Canadian, I think I paid for it. I've got my money's worth and more. Final thought, way to go IDW. I'm packaging 102 cards in a box that fits 102 cards. No wasted packaging. Great job.